Okay, today I'm going to be renewing the panels here on the trunk. You can see I pulled all this back and carefully pulled it back. I'm going to reuse this material that's on it. I did pull this off. This is the lock for the little door here. And it's got these rivets in it. I hope you can see that, but they split there on the back side, and I'll show you how to put those back on. But I just took a screwdriver and pried them up a little bit and a pair of pliers and pulled them together, but I'm going to reuse those and clean them up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some lacquer cleaner and clean this real good, especially the glue and stuff that's on the inside here. And that also will soften these edges. Some of them will be a little stiff and curled, so when you glue it back down, it'll work a little bit better. Doing this, I'm going to put my mask on here, so I don't know how you'll be able to hear me. And then we'll get some glue, some contact cement and put on there and glue it back down. Okay, I hope you can hear me all right. I got my mask on. I always tape that off and put some paper around it because when you do the backside tabs, you'll get glue all over it. So I'm going to take some of my glue with a brush here. And I can't pull this all the way back, so I'm going to work it underneath there with the brush. And make sure I get it on both sides. And I'm going to go all the way around, do the other side like that. But you want to get it on both sides and then let it dry for a little while. Okay, you can see I got a nice coat of the glue all spread across there, nice even layers, and I got it in all spots. And I'm going to start rolling this back, and I'm going to make sure I go real evenly from the middle out. And then I'm going to work the bubbles towards the outside, just like that. Okay, I've done the front side, and now I'm just going to put a little around the edge here. And I put some clean paper down because you don't want to get the glue, but I apply it to both sides again, even though I put some on the front side when I first painted it, but I'll go all around and do that. Okay, and to finish this up, I'm just going to take these and start rolling them over. And I'm going to go evenly around and kind of pull it as I go over, but that glue, you got to let it dry for about 15 minutes until it becomes real tacky. And then you can just form that on around there. Some of those you're going to have to pull up. Kind of got stuff on there, but I'm going to work my way around now. Okay, a little trick I use. This had a little mouse hole in it. You can see I repaired that with some paper mache. But I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on the outside all the way around there where that hole is. And that is a tight bond, waterproof outdoor glue. And then I'm going to kind of work that so it's nice and smooth around that edge. And then I'm going to take a piece of something that's got a pattern to it. I like using a paper towel. What I'm going for is to have a little bit of pattern in it. And so I get a little pattern out of it by, and then I'm going to wipe off a little bit of this that's on the top edge there. Just so it forms around where the hair was. Okay, I've got the thing all glued back on. I've got all of those ready to go. I did my little paper mache on those. I've got all the grommets there typed up. I put a board under that so that I held that door up, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a coat of this paint for plastic. This is a vinyl, so I think this stuff will work quite well. Okay, so after you get it all painted and looking pretty, you got to put this back on there. I polished the ends of these little rivets and they got split ends on them. But I push them together, get them started down in the same hole, and push them on through there. Okay, so I took the vice grips and I worked them, vice grips, channel locks, and you can get right on that pin and spread that out. Just like that. Okay, today we're going to be refurbishing the cover of the boot, and this pops out, but when it pops out you bend these up typically, and some of these pull out. This one had a little damage to it here, and this one was missing. These things are quite easy to put in. They just kind of go in and spin around and they're in there. Well, that one isn't very good, but anyway, these things, they can be punched back through with a pair of pliers. You can pinch them down because they do loosen and bend up a little bit, so you can straighten them or bend them down a little bit. This one where it's cracked, we're going to use this to replace that. And old paper mache, I'm going to use this and build up with a tight bond weatherproof glue, just like the paper mache of the old days. I'm going to put a piece of wax paper and a board behind here where it holds it together, but you can see this is quite bad shape right in through here. Okay, I flipped it over. As you can see, we've reinforced both sides. That gives you a little bit more strength, but as you can see here, this is quite sturdy. And we went over it with a light sand, and we will be painting it with a rattle can black enamel just to give it a little bit more reinforcement and something for the glue to stick to when we put the cloth back on it. I got the fabric at a local fabric store. I did half at a time and folded it back so that I could protect the material from the spray-on glue, and I used a spray-on adhesive. I started with a smaller piece. As you can see, I started with a smaller piece and experimented with the fabric, but a good thick wool fabric from a fabric store did the trick. As you can see, the repair on the back side came out great. It is good and sturdy, quite rigid, and you'll notice around the edges you have to clip the material just short of the edge, as you can see here, and then it'll fold over, and I sprayed the glue on the trunk bottom last. And then I continued to fold over a small portion at a time, and I notched the sections so I could miss the clips and such as I folded them over.